Hey folks, I'm 𝗵𝐻𝐸 with 𝗪𝗁𝐾 and walking you through demystifying an off-grid hotspot. So you're gonna need a bunch of stuff to get it. And it is a complicated and sometimes complex process, but it's not impossible. You can totally do it. And I'll show you how to do everything, whether you wanna do all the cables on your own and make your own cables, or whether you wanna buy some or part or all of a off-grid hotspot. But we'll start with the easiest thing, which is the box. So I got the box here. I put the 𝐺𝐞𝐿 symbol on top of it. But you need a box, you need something to put your hotspot in. You need a hotspot. This is actually my very first hotspot, so I'm just going to use this as a placeholder for now. This is a little rack. This eventually burned out, and I've since replaced it, but we've got a nice little placeholder here for it. You're going to need a battery to power everything. Depends on where you are in the world, depends on how big the battery is going to be, but definitely need a battery. You'll need some kind of solar charge controller. We're going to use a solar panel. I've got my panel down here. These are pretty small. I'm in San Diego, so I don't need a ton of panel because we got an awful lot of sun. But you do need to calculate it for wherever you are. So if you're upstate New York, it's going to be pretty different than in Arizona or Washington State or wherever you are. So solar charge controller, that'll manage all of the power that comes into the panel and then goes to the battery and then gets pushed out to the hotspot. And the last kind of big thing is a little cell modem. This is a Teltonika RUT240. This is about the cheapest modem you can get and still have a really nice one. You can spend more money if you want. You get an IBR200. Those are really good. If you really want to spend a ton of money for no great reason, get an IBR650C or 900. But you don't need to. You can get the 240. Those run from 75 bucks on eBay up to, let's say, 150, 170 if you buy them brand new. There's a couple other parts here. Vents, little DC buck converters. So taking the charge from the battery, the voltage from the battery, which is 12 volt, and sending it out to the hotspot. A lot of times hotspots are 5 volts. So from 12 to 5, you got to step that down. And the same thing with the modem. Other modems, the charge controller, the modem. Other modems I've used are 12 volts, but this one's 9, so we're gonna have to go from 12, where the battery is, down to 9. This thing just pushed us out 12 volts. We got to change that down. That's why we need the buck converters. Let's see. We'll get an antenna in here. I'm waiting on mine to come in, but any antenna you want to use is going to be fine. I'll show you how to make the bracket with this piece of aluminum, and that should do it. It's not that hard. There are a bunch of little pieces for it, and I'll show you how to go as deep as you want to go, but you can totally do this. You can take a hotspot off grid, and you can do it on your own in your own little shop. So that's the starting point for this. Let's see where it goes.